Nobody believed in me. Everybody said Super Mario RPG is not coming to the Switch. And today it was announced that it is, and oh my gosh, I'm still freaking out. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Hi everybody, my name is Alex, aka Quality, and welcome back to the channel. We are here once again for our Nintendo Direct Roundup. We're doing things slightly differently this time. I'm really only going to talk about the highlights for me throughout this, only because I think personally this Direct, while I think it was like good, I would probably rank it more B tier than A tier like some of the previous ones that we've had, only because it didn't have as many games that like specifically applied to me, but it has like my holy grail game and some other really great games sprinkled in there as well. So we're mainly going to be talking about some of the bigger things, but I highly recommend going and watching the Direct yourself because there were a few other smaller announcements throughout it as well. But let's get into it now so I can talk about Super Mario RPG sooner. Literally, I'm filming this video so fast, I only had time to put one plushie on the chair, so Wooper gets to be the little champion, which will lead us into our first announcement of Pokemon DLC. Now, this was one announcement that if you had watched my predictions video, which if you haven't, I highly recommend pausing this video and watching that really fast, and then you can laugh at how wrong I was on a few things. This was one that I was really kind of shocked to see, especially open up the Direct. Usually when there are Pokemon announcements, we get them in a Pokemon Presents rather than a Direct, but we got more news on the DLC for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, both waves of it, the first one coming out in fall and the second one coming out in winter, and we kind of got a little bit more of a glimpse about the world of what the DLC is really encompassing. For one of them, you're on a field trip going to a festival, and the other you're an exchange student at a different academy, which is really cool. I like that they're framing the DLC in ways that seem very realistic given the main story of Scarlet and Violet. Like, yeah, you really are just a student doing student things, which I really like. I will say, as much as I enjoyed Scarlet and Violet, I kind of have fallen off of the games very easily. After I finished the main story, I was kind of done because I had so many other games to play. So while I think it's great that we're getting DLC, it's really exciting, I'm not sure if I'm gonna pick it up. And I've never said that about Pokemon DLC ever, or anything Pokemon really. Like, I love Pokemon, but just Scarlet and Violet, despite being fun, I just don't know if there's enough in the DLC yet to really make me want to get it right away, but we'll see. I'm hoping that maybe we will get a Pokemon Presents over the next few months that really go into the more in-depth aspects, any kind of differences in gameplay, maybe give us a bit better of a look of what we can see in the DLC. The one thing is there's a lot of Pokemon coming in between both the first wave and the second wave, so it'll be nice to expand the already existing Pokedex of Scarlet and Violet for sure. Keeping on the Pokemon track, we have a game that has been known about for a really long time, but nobody really knew exactly what was going on with it, and that is Detective Pikachu 2, Detective Pikachu Returns. Now, I never played the original Detective Pikachu. I'd love to get a copy of it for my 3DS. I think that'd be a really nice addition to the collection. But this game has just always been such like a strange thing to me. It's just been so strange. And the fact that they wanted to make a sequel of it, I think is even stranger. But I'm not really complaining. I love wacky Pokemon spin-offs. I mean, I talk about Pokemon Channel and Pokemon Ranger and all of that all the time, and I love those games. So I really want to give Detective Pikachu a try first. I don't know if I'll be able to get my hands on the 3DS one before the Switch version comes out. I do think it's funny to be getting this series kind of back into it, which makes me wonder if maybe they're gonna make a sequel to the movie, because I really did like the Detective Pikachu movie. I thought it was very cute. So I don't know. We'll see what the future of the Detective Pikachu is, but it's so funny. It looks a lot like the 3DS version. Like, I can't tell if there's too much. There's obviously some graphical updates from the 3DS to the Switch, but it looks very similar to how the 3DS version did. I also just love that like the Detective Pikachu games use the anime cries as opposed to like the actual Pokemon cries. I just think that's really funny. So I might be picking this one up. We will see. And of course, we all knew this one was coming. More news on Pikmin 4. We kind of got a bit more of insight onto what the story of the game is supposed to be like, which is pretty darn cool. As I mentioned in my predictions video, I have not really played the first Pikmin games. I just never had them on my GameCube. So I was kind of like, I really want to play Pikmin 4, but I don't know, like I haven't really been into the series. Regardless, the mechanics of Pikmin 4 look really cool. I love that there's a nighttime exploration mode. I think that's really cool. The glow Pikmin are so cute. I can't even take it. I just can't even take it. They are adorable. And it just seems like the world of Pikmin has expanded so much. The game looks gorgeous too, so I'm really excited to see how that was. But that wasn't the only bit of Pikmin related news that we got. We also got word that Pikmin and Pikmin 2 are coming to the Switch. Now, I do not believe we're getting a physical copy of it, at least they haven't announced it, but you are able to get both games digitally, which means every single Pikmin game, aside from Hey Pikmin, is available on the Nintendo Switch. And I know it's kind of a weird thing, but I love that. It's how I feel about Xenoblade 2. It's like all Xenoblade games are on the Switch. You can play the entire series on one console. And I love that. That makes me really happy. So I'm happy that I'll be able to go back and re-experience Pikmin and Pikmin 2, because trying to buy them for original hardware or even the Wii ports, it's really expensive and I don't think I can do that. So the fact that they're coming to Switch is a relief. So I can play all of them and then eventually play Pikmin 4 as well. Also, Ochi is like so freaking cute. I can't even take it. I just can't even take it. I love cute animal mascots. Speaking of games getting ported to the Switch, we are also getting a port of Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. I was really surprised that we're getting Dark Moon over the original Luigi's Mansion. Dark Moon is actually the only one I haven't played because I just never picked it up on my 3DS. I'm trying to find maybe a cheap copy of it to add just to have it in the collection, but I've never played it. I know it's a lot of people's least favorite in the series though, so I don't know if maybe putting it on the Switch is gonna give it a whole brand new life or what, but I think it's pretty cool. I love Luigi's Mansion and I'm hoping that maybe, I don't know, it probably won't happen for the Switch, but like soon-ish, we'll get Luigi's Mansion 4, because Luigi's Mansion 3 is so good, so I'd love to see that. But I'm also really excited to see what they're gonna do with Dark Moon. Are they going to put it more in the style of Luigi's Mansion 3, or are they gonna kind of keep it more to how it looked on the 3DS? I don't know, but so that's a really exciting one for Luigi's Mansion fans for sure. You're gonna notice this with a lot of the next few announcements, but this Direct was very Mario heavy. And of course, we got Mario Kart Booster Course Pass news, which means Wave 5 is coming soon. It said coming this summer, which is really exciting. But we are also getting a new course, which looks adorable, and 3 new characters. We're getting Petey Piranha from Double Dash, we're getting Wiggler from Mario Kart 7, and we're getting Kamek back, which I think Kamek's last appearance in a Mario Kart game was a long time ago. I know Kamek is in Tour, but I think in terms of a home console game, was it Mario Kart 64? No, I don't even remember, but it's been a long time. It's been a really long time, so this is really exciting. I love that when they announced the DLC, they were like, no, we're not gonna do any new characters, no new courses, just, you know, retro courses and tour courses. And then they totally flipped that around by giving us new characters and brand new courses. So I'm excited to see what the rest of the courses in this wave are going to be like. We only have 2 left, which is ridiculous. Wow, thanks Mario Kart 8. But I'm really excited to see what the rest of Wave 5 has to offer when it comes out. And of course, this is one that I kind of assumed was going to happen, but Dragon Quest Monsters, we got kind of a cool looking trailer on it. I'm really excited. I love Dragon Quest despite being a newer fan of the series, and Dragon Quest Monsters is one of kind of the spin-off series that I've really wanted to try for a really long time. And this game looks great. It looks so good, so I'm so excited to play it. I love the monster designs of Dragon Quest. I think they're so interesting and just so cool, and to have a whole game very much so focused on them, I just think is a really cool idea. So I'm really excited. I heard the Dragon Quest music and I was like, yes. So no new news on the Dragon Quest 3 remake, unfortunately, but maybe that just means that, you know, something bigger is coming sometime soon. I hope. I really hope. But Dragon Quest Monsters is a great one, and I will definitely be picking that up as well. Just while we're on the topic of RPGs, there were 2 other ones that really interested me, which is the Star Ocean 2 remake. I've never played a Star Ocean game, so I don't really know much about the series, but the trailer looked really, really intriguing. It looks like something that's very much so up my alley. I really enjoyed the art. I think it was really cool. And the portrait art, oh my gosh, the portraits were so pretty. They were so, so pretty, but it seems like a fun time. So that might be another one that I might end up picking up as well. And we also got Persona 5 Tactica officially announced for the Switch, but no Persona 3 remake, which I don't know how to feel about that. I don't understand why Atlus keeps doing this, because it just put it on the Switch. It just put it on the Switch. Like, I don't understand why. Because we're probably gonna get it eventually, but that was a really, really surprising lack of announcement. We all knew Persona 5 Tactica was coming to the Switch, but still nice to have the official announcement. Once again, I don't know if I'm gonna pick it up, only because I really want to play Persona 5 Royal first, which I don't even have that game. I need to pick that game up at some point in time, but I kind of want to play the main game and then play the spin-offs, because I feel like that's the better way to really get into the series, so we'll see. But of course, love strategy RPGs. Always good to have Persona characters in it, and I know a lot of people love Persona 5. Now, we did not get Tears of the Kingdom DLC like I had been hoping we were, but we did get 2 new amiibos, which, I mean, I'll take the Ganondorf amiibo 100%. But I'm really hoping that we'll get some Tears of the Kingdom DLC news, maybe in the fall. I really think it's gotta happen. Maybe it doesn't, maybe I'm crazy, but I think it'd be nice if it did, you know what I mean? But for now, we're getting 2 new amiibo of Zelda and Ganondorf, and I can't complain. I'll probably pick those up as well. Now, one announcement that, even though it's a series that I'm not super into, only because I've never really played the games, is we're getting the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1, which I'm assuming Volume 1 is probably the older games, whereas Volume 2 will be the newer games, which we might not see on Switch, but who knows. But I just think it's so cool, and it's such a huge collection too. There are so many games in this Metal Gear Solid collection, and I just think that's awesome. It's a series I've always kind of wanted to get into ever since Snake was introduced in Smash Brawl, but I just never did. But I don't know if I would like it, but I definitely want to give it a shot. And I just think it's so cool that they are putting all of these games into one giant collection. So that's a pretty exciting one. Even if it's not specifically for me, it's still really cool to see. All right, now we're gonna kind of wrap it up with some of my most exciting announcements. The first one, which totally took me by surprise, I did not expect we were gonna get one of these, is WarioWare Move It, which is absolutely, undeniably a sequel to Smooth Moves, which is one of my favorite WarioWare games. So I freaked out. I am a big WarioWare fan. I just think they're so fun and just so funny and just so wacky, and I love it. And I had kind of been thinking, like, you know, it's either time for like a Rhythm Heaven game or a WarioWare game, but we did have Get It Together not that too long ago, so I was completely taken aback by getting a new WarioWare game. And I loved Smooth Moves so much, despite not actually having it in my Wii collection. I've played it a lot at friends and relatives and stuff, and it's one of those games that I associate so hard with the Wii that seeing this and seeing it really be a sequel, not a remake, it made me nostalgic, but also just really excited for something completely new and exciting. So I'm really excited for WarioWare. That one was one of the big ones for me. And yeah, as I said earlier, you're gonna notice a trend with these. All of these are Mario announcements. I'm not always the biggest Mario fan, but this was a very big Mario Direct, which I feel like we've been lacking recently too, so it was a really nice change to just have a bunch of Mario love. And one of the most intriguing announcements is we're getting a Princess Peach game. Not Super Princess Peach for the DS, not that, but we're getting an actual Princess Peach game, which is so cool. They didn't announce a title or really give us any information about it. In fact, the snippet was so short that you could have blinked and you would have missed it, but I just think it's so cool and so exciting that Peach is finally getting her own game. So I'm really going to be interested to see how that's going to flesh out as well. And we also got our next 2D Mario revealed. We have Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Not New Super Mario Bros., Super Mario Bros. And I am just so happy that this next 2D installment is not a part of the new series. Like, I'm so glad we're moving past that. And this game looks so crazy. It looks so wacky, and I'm really excited for it. I'm really, really, really excited for it. I don't usually get excited for 2D Mario games, not because I don't like them, it's just we've had the new series go on for so long that it really felt like all right, what's next? This looks very innovative, very cool. I love the art style. I think the art style is so unique and it matches pretty well with the next game that we're gonna talk about. But I think it's just really cool, very stylized. And it already looks like there's gonna be some interesting abilities as well. As the trailer kind of said, a lot of wacky things are going on throughout here. And I'm interested to see that expanded on, but also we have Daisy, which is a huge thing. I know it's a small thing, but having Daisy as like a part of the main cast for a 2D Mario game is like my childhood dream. I loved Daisy, so that's really, really exciting just in its own. But it looks really, really good. It seems like it's gonna be a really fun game to play with friends, so I'm really excited. I never thought I'd be that excited for a 2D Mario game ever again, but I really am. And the last announcement I'm gonna talk about, which, yes, I mentioned at the beginning, you all knew it was coming, Super Mario RPG Remake. This game means the world to me. It really does. It's one of my favorite games of all time, and I have been holding on to this hope that someday we were gonna get a remake of it, and that day was finally today. I got texts all throughout the day because I couldn't watch the direct as it was coming out. So I was working and I got a bunch of texts being like, let me know when you watch it. Let me know when you watch it, which I'm like, oh no, please stop. I love you, but please stop. I don't want to hear it. I wanted to be a surprise. And so in my heart, I was kind of like, maybe this is the one, maybe this is the one. But I've done that so many times with Nintendo Directs that I was like, no, I need to temper my expectations. But this was the one. This was the one. And I'll be honest, like there were great announcements, especially towards the end. But once Super Mario RPG was announced, my brain kind of shut off a little bit. It kind of shut off a little bit. I was so happy, and they did it in the exact way that I wanted it to. A lot of people on Twitter the past few days had been talking about how it might be an HD 2D remake, which would have been fine, but it just does not match the same charm and wonder that the original Super Mario RPG had. So I really enjoy the fact that with these updated graphics, they kept everything very similarly stylized to the original. Yeah, it doesn't have that fun SNES look to it, but it takes that SNES thing and brings it into the modern era while still keeping it very, very just charming and nice. And oh, friends, if you haven't played Super Mario RPG, now is your time. Now is your time. It looks so good. Not only that, but it seems like they added stuff to the battle. I saw things like chain attacks. There was like a meter at the bottom calculating some percentage of some kind. So I'm really interested to see how they changed the gameplay or enhanced it, which is really nice because I love ports and remakes, of course, but sometimes it's nice when a remake has something that the original doesn't, you know what I mean? Or I don't always like it when it completely changes it unless it's necessary, but I'm really excited for this one. So this was undeniably the highlight of this Nintendo Direct for me. Nothing can top it. Absolutely nothing can top it. So I'm so excited. And a lot of these games, I haven't mentioned any of the release dates, but a lot of these games are coming out in the later half of the year. October, November, December, which is great because we finally have a look at what the future of the Switch is looking like for the rest of the year, which really we didn't. We had some September releases, but that was about it. So seeing the latter half of the year just have some stuff, it shows that the Switch is still staying strong for quite a little bit, so it seems. And yeah, so while this wasn't my number one 100% A+ Direct, it really had some incredible stuff in it, and I'm really happy. The Super Mario RPG thing just makes me really, really happy. But that's gonna do it for this very short video of recapping some of the bigger announcements from today's Direct. I hope you enjoyed. Please, if you did, maybe consider giving this a like, and if you're not already subscribed, maybe consider subscribing to the channel too. And of course, let me know in the comments down below what was your favorite announcement from today, and also don't be afraid to make fun of me a little bit after watching my predictions video to see how many things I got wrong. I definitely did not have as good of a track record with this Direct as I did the last one. The last one I got so many predictions right. This one I really didn't get any, so you win some, you lose some. But anyways, everybody, until the next time, goodbye!